Okay, this is my novel project, algorithm for a kidnapping, set up in Notion with scenes, chapters, etc. This is the timeline of scenes. I want to show you how I do this property here as a word count. Notion has its own word count. It's not usually that accurate. Somehow it's always different from the word count if you paste the text into a Word document. It's always a little bit less in Word. This is closer to the word count in Word. I'm not sure what the deal is with Notion, if it's counting words in properties or something. It's always a little bit more than the word count I get in other programs. How do I get this word count as a property? There's no way to do this within Notion. I use Make, the automation platform, to do it. Let me just show you this. So here is the first paragraph of the book. And notice it's got this little italic within the block here. So that's going to be important. We have to deal with that in our automation in a minute. Here's how the automation works. It's just these 5 modules. Unfortunately, it uses a lot of operations on the iterator here. So I'm looking for ways to cut down on that. If you have ideas, let me know. So first, it just watches the database, and it's going to get basically each page that's been updated. So there's 18 of them that have some kind of an update. And then it's going to filter those based on whether there's no word count, or if the word count is 0, or if the last time that the word count was edited, which the automation will log in the last step, is more than an hour earlier than the last time the page was actually edited. So basically, if I've edited that scene, each page is a scene, and then scenes are grouped into chapters. But the last time I've edited that scene was more than an hour ago. Since it recounted the words, then it'll pass this filter. So 6 passed in this case. You can see most didn't pass, and the ones that passed, it was always because these other filters are more for when you're first doing it, so that it'll count the ones that haven't been counted yet at all. And then generally, once they've all been counted at least once, you're only going to pass this last filter, basically that it needed to be, had been updated in a while. So 6 of them passed. You get 6 operations. This first chapter happened to be the 6th operation. It's actually go in order. It's like order in which they were added that I was working on. It's the first scene last, basically. So this is that page, and you can see each object outputs is a block on that page, right? To see the contents of this first block, go into paragraph, then into rich text. And then you'll notice that just for this one block, there's actually 3 bundles inside rich text. And notice that the middle bundle is that italic bit. So if you look into, I think it's annotations, yeah, you'll see italic true, whereas the others italic and all the others are false. This new value here, the way that Notion does it is it's a whole new sub bundle within the paragraph rich text array. So we have to get all of these out, right? Because before, when I first built this, it was only getting like that first one. And if there was an italic or any other kind of formatting in the middle of a paragraph, it would break and not process the part after it, or the thing itself, the right part. So we need to get this entire paragraph, name of the plant in italics, rest of the paragraph. So the way that we did that is that we iterate over this rich text array, which comes here within paragraph. So we're grabbing each of those bundles onto empty arrays here. Some operations appear to be being wasted. So each block is going to run an operation here, each block on a Notion page, which is a bundle in these outputs. Can we screen out the blocks that are empty? Put a filter, no empty blocks. If rich text needs an array operator, array length equal to 0, should not pass. What's going to happen next is that we're going to aggregate these things. Notice we're back down to 6. So all blocks for each page are aggregated. Your input is each of these bundles, right? You can see this is that first paragraph broken into 3. And then the output is just going to be this whole thing with spaces in between, because this is taking the plain text and the separator is just a space. So each page is going to output the page as just a wall of plain text, which can be counted in a formula within this update database item module. It's going to take the length, split the text on the space, and count the length of that split array equivalent to a word count. Quite simple and elegant. And it's going to pass that number to the word count make property we initially saw. This one is 1050, or we can edit that, but we're not going to. I'm really interested in ideas for avoiding this iteration. If there's some way we could aggregate without iterating over it, I just haven't been able to figure out a way that it's going to catch those sub blocks without the iterator going over the rich text array, right? Because you've got those sub bundles. If there's a way to aggregate these sub bundles without iterating over them, I would love to hear about it. I hope that's helpful. Writers, I offer this service/product that you can buy from me for a very nominal fee if you work in Notion find it's a huge boost to your productivity the way I do, this helps with word count, setting goals, dashboards, and staying on track with your writing or your editing. So you could be trying to move your word count up. I'm trying to move mine down currently because I'm editing rather than writing a new novel. So it can be really helpful for either of those things for these longer writing projects where you want to quantitatively track your progress of word count increase or reduction.